Good evening and happy Solar Sunday, everybody. It's Jaime Green, the Solar Queen. And I just thought I would hop on a few minutes early because, truth be told, I need to still go out and do a little bit more Christmas shopping. I did all the wrapping for my kids today and nephews and niece and just got all of it done. And then I realized that I thought I ordered something for my daughter and I didn't. So I need to go and get her one more thing before this craziness of the next coming days. So I'm coming on early and I wanted to talk about something that I was discussing on a video that I posted earlier this week at an installation. And it was talking about the batteries and the inverters and the solar system and how it all works together. And so I mentioned time of use shaving. So something that happens when you go solar, you get switched over. If you're still being billed by the utility company by like the tiered system where it's tier one, right now the tier one rates are for the first 300 kilowatt hours, at least in PG&E territory, is approximately 300 kilowatt hours that you can use at the lowest rate. So like 24.5 cents right now. So about a quarter per kilowatt hour. If you stay within those first, like that tier one in the first 300 kilowatt hours, you're going to stay being charged at 24.5 cents right now. I am pretty certain PG&E is going to increase the rates at the beginning of the year. So it might be let's see if it's 24.5 cents. It might be 25 cents, beginning of the year. We'll see. I've seen them creep up throughout the year. And of course, it changes based on the season, like if it's summertime or wintertime. But right now, tier one is about 24.5 cents a kilowatt hour. Tier two, if you go beyond the 300 kilowatt hours in a month, you're going to be charged about 31 cents a kilowatt hour, which is kind of crazy. So the more energy you use, the more you're penalized by the utility company. High usage, I'm seeing around 48 cents a kilowatt hour, which means if you go over about 800 kilowatt hours, 900 kilowatt hours a month, it kind of varies. It's so funny how the utility company kind of charges you based on your habits. So if you go into high usage, you're up there butting up against 50 cents a kilowatt hours just for good round math. But right now it's about 48 cents a kilowatt hour. But when you go solar, you are going to get switched over to time of use. And what is time of use? Time of use is being charged for your energy based on when you use it. Hey, Kim Walls. Happy Sunday before Christmas. So going back to time of use, peak time of use is between 4 and 9 p.m. For people who've been solar before this year, for us, for instance, we were used to be 3 to 8 p.m. was our time of use. But then they sent us a note and said, we're going to move you over to 4 to 9 p.m. every day. So prior to this, this is time of use like C. So before time of use C, I was enrolled in time of use D, which meant 3 to 8 p.m. every weekday night, and then off peak, I would be off peak from the weekends, and then 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. the next day. So it's kind of crazy how they do this. Thanks so much for sharing this, Ken. I appreciate it. So non-peak time is from 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. and weekends. Well, I should take that off actually because it's not. I just checked PG&E, and it's actually when you go time of use, it's every day. Every day is what it is now. So time of use C is every 9 p.m. to 4. That's right. Every day. And then the peak kilowatt hours is 9 to 4 p.m. every day. And this is if you're on time of use C. So I'll put that in there. And why is that important? That's important to know because you're being charged more for the energy that you use when everyone else is using it. Justin Benton says, all this kilowatt talk makes me think of Doc Brown, 1.21 gigawatts. Great Scott. Great Scott. Yeah, it's all energy, It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so peak time of use is important to know. So like say you in the wintertime, when is the sun goes down, you have to use all your lights, turn on your lights. Christmas time, everyone that's solar powered, and have Christmas light decorations and everything, and all those really fun. We took our kids out last night and looked at Christmas lights all around our town. It was really fun. It's kind of an annual tradition for us. And we have this neighbor, maybe a half mile away. It's not really a neighbor, but someone a half mile away who was on that great like Christmas show competition on ABC. We've actually had two friends on that, or two people that we know on that. And they used to open up their home and decorate the entire house, uh, every room, like, and they lived in this like one little corner of the room, but every single room was decorated and like motion, like it was crazy with Christmas lights. And they welcome people in. They started decorating in August, and they would let everyone in to come see their home and the decorations and stuff. It was kind of crazy. And this is the first year because of COVID that they're not doing it. But their utility bill, they would take donations, from people to help, cover their utility bill because it was so many lights for like the entire, like since I think they started it in around Thanksgiving and then through the new year. So you could imagine, I imagine their utility bill for the month of December might be, maybe $2,500. Who knows? But it was crazy. So peak time of use is from 4 to 9 p.m. every day, which is, good to know because everyone's cooking, everyone's at home, everyone's watching the evening news. Hopefully you're not watching the evening news. But people do. And they run their dishwasher, or they do every other little thing. So just know that you're going to be paying or debiting from credits if you're solar powered. You're going to be generating the energy during the daytime, and then you're going to be debiting from at nighttime credits that you've deposited into your net energy metering account. Hello, Thomas. Thanks for watching. And Justin, yes, I should sell them some solar, but you know what? The front of their house is probably where the panels would need to go, and they wouldn't be able to put their Christmas decorations on there. And they have no room for a ground mount, but that's a great idea. Maybe they'd have to go on the back side of their house and just put more panels on. Doug Wing, I don't even have a Christmas tree this year. I don't hate to say it, but I checked our tree, and it was like really dry. So I put a bunch of water in there. I always wait a little bit longer to put up a Christmas tree, and I'm kind of funny because my husband thinks I'm funny because I take it down like the couple of days after Christmas, at least right after New Year. But I know some people leave them up a lot longer. So going back to how solar customers, and this is not just going to be for solar, it's not just for solar customers, it's coming down the pike for every homeowner, at least in California. I know they are eventually going to move everyone over from the tiered system. Remember, tier 1, tier 2, and high surcharge. They're going to move everyone over to time of use eventually, and I'm thinking it's going to probably happen this year. So this is the rate for non-peak kilowatt hours. Let me show this one. Non-peak kilowatt hours is about 34 cents a kilowatt hour, which is much more than what you're paying if you're tier 1 and even tier 2. Because tier 2, remember I said, was about 30.5 cents, almost 31 cents a kilowatt hour. So everyone that gets moved over to time of use will see a bump in their utility costs. And then for the peak kilowatt hours, the rates are about 41 cents a kilowatt hour. So how can you, as a homeowner who has solar power, if you are one that experiences, power cuts during a storm, or winds are kicking up and the utility companies don't want to be liable anymore for downed powered lines that create fire, like a spark and create a fire, which PG&E has been known to happen, and there's lawsuits and all that stuff that are happening. What happens during those power cuts? The one that we experienced, not this year but 2 years ago, the first time we ever experienced these like public safety power shutoffs is what they call them. And it's throughout the state. So it's Southern California, Edison, San Diego, Gas and Electric, as well as PG&E. They will preemptively cut the power for safety reasons. If you have solar and you don't have a backup battery, you don't have any power even during a power cut. So that's important to know. So if you're just like everybody else, even though you should be able to use the sun to power your home during a power cut during the day, you don't get to, because there's a rapid safety shutoff that happens to your inverter to protect the linemen, anyone that's working on the power lines during a power cut. So it's a safety factor. Let's see. Justin says a lot of indoor cannabis growers out here in California set up their lighting growth schedule around non-peak hours. Plus, they use solar and save a ton of moolah. Yes, that is smart. It's smart to do that, because otherwise they're going to be paying an arm and a leg, for those peak kilowatt hours. And the plants can just go night-night, right? They do save a lot of money, and homeowners can do the same thing if they plan, their, what's it called? It's called load shifting. So shifting your loads to the non-essential things over to non-peak kilowatt hours. So anytime after 9 p.m. and before 4 p.m. is non-peak. So if you're a stay-at-home parent or a stay-at-home person working and you want to, do your laundry or run your dishwasher or anything else, do your vacuuming, things like that, do it during non-peak hours. So going back to what happens though during a power cut, Justin asked, do you sell the backup battery? Yes, I do. I do sell them. It's one of those things that it's more for the homeowner's peace of mind or not wanting to see interruption to their lives during a power cut in particular. How a backup battery can be used on a daily basis is, during the day, you're going to be generating all the energy you need for your home. Wintertime's a little bit different because you're maybe based on the direction of the sun and how low because it's the planet shifts and tilts, and the sun is out less during the wintertime. You might not be able to be producing all the energy that your home needs in that given day. And so you're going to be debiting from credits that you've been building up all summer long. But one of the things that happens is your home is going to be generating energy. You're going to be using it, and any excess energy that your solar system produces at any given moment that you're not using, it's going to go into the backup battery, and it's going to charge the backup battery. The kind of normal battery size is can hold about 10 kilowatt hours of power. You're going to probably get the usage of about 9.5 kilowatt hours just because you want to keep it a reserve. You don't want to drain the backup battery down all the way. Common batteries right now are LG, Tesla Powerwall. I know Enphase has a battery, and I think SolarEdge is coming out with a backup battery, as well as Generac, and then the Brightbox from Sunrun. There's tons of backup batteries, but I have seen the most batteries being, obviously Tesla Powerwalls and LG Chem, the Resu 10 backup batteries. But what happens is you're going to be filling up that backup battery with energy that your home's not using immediately, instead of going out to the grid where the utility company is going to sell that energy and give you a credit. A non-peak kilowatt hour credit is likely what's going to be credited to your account, which is, what was it? 34 cents, the 34 cents. That's kind of the non-peak kilowatt hour rate is about 34 cents. So if you think about it, you're going to deposit 34 cents into your NEM account. But then during the day or during the evening, when you need to pull from your credits, remember, they're going to debit you like 41 cents. They have it all worked out because that smart meter that's in most people's homes that can go solar, they timestamp all the exports and the imports. So they keep track of that for you. You see it on your utility bill. but it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. But when you have a backup battery, that and excess energy that's going into the battery is going to be stored at non-peak kilowatt hour time. But the battery doesn't know any difference between, peak and non-peak time. So if you have a backup battery and you're not experiencing a power cut, your home can draw from the backup battery, 9.5 kilowatt hours or so, or however much the battery can charge in that day, given the time, winter time versus summer. Obviously in the summertime, it's going to charge up really, really fast. But in the wintertime, in the summertime, during peak hours, you can use that backup battery power that you imported at non-peak kilowatt hours. You can use it during the peak time, which is 4 to 9 p.m. And then the goal, and anything that is excess, generate or produced in excess beyond what your battery's capacity is, it's going to go out to the grid. And they're going to sell it again, and they're going to give you that credit in your net energy metering account, which then will carry you through your nighttime, from 9 p.m. till when the sun rises and starts generating power on your home. I hope that makes sense. If that didn't make sense to you, please let me know in the comments and I will clarify it as best as I can. So, how the backup battery works. If you have a backup battery and you have solar power and you want to shave off that time of use, that peak time of use, that's how you do it with a backup battery. Now, why wouldn't everybody have solar on the home why wouldn't everyone have solar on the home with a backup battery? I think you mean without a backup battery. For the reason is, there are no more rebates right now available for generating your own energy through a backup battery. It's like right now, I think it's a 1.5 year wait, and you have to meet criteria. So when it's called an SGIP, Self-Generated Incentive Program. It's ran out of funds. And so people that got batteries previously, like in other years, previous years from now, and even part of the time this year, people are still getting part of the rebate. They've ran out of rebates, the state has. That was why there was that huge push for everyone to get Teslas a couple years ago, was because of the rebates were so big. Well, the SGIP rebates at the state level have ran out, and you still can get a tax credit on them, but the backup batteries add about $10,000, $10,000 to $12,000, depending on the battery size and everything. So it's adding to the cost of the solar system, and some people think it's not worth it. Like the ROI might not be there for them. Like I said, people get the backup battery for different reasons. Some of them just don't want to have their life interrupted. They don't want to have to worry about power cuts and what happens if they have all this food in their fridges and freezers, and they don't want to lose that food. Like when we had the power cut 2 years ago, we lost everything, and we ate everything we could possibly eat in our fridge, and we lost about half of our freezer food. Because we knew this power cut was coming, I froze all this water, put all this ice, and put it in the deep back part of the freezer, and didn't open it up for 5 days. And there was still stuff that was, frozen, but I did lose a lot. So depending on where you live, if you get high winds and you're in the hills and you get power cuts, or, maybe you have a medical device, or maybe, you need, you just need that extra energy, or the energy when the power goes down, like you have a water pump or things like that. Some people get those backup batteries, and some people I need it because I can't get enough solar on my roof, and I need to store some of the energy during the day. So it does help shave off that peak hours, the peak time of use. So that's why some people get backup batteries, and that's why some people don't. If you're thinking about a backup battery and you're thinking about solar and you want to do it, the best time to do it is together. It's harder to go and retrofit a solar system, an existing solar system with a backup battery than it is to just get it all done together. And there's technology that's coming out right now where you can tie in a backup battery into your solar system. You can tie in an electric vehicle charger into the system. It's pretty awesome. So hi, Tom. Good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Justin, it's a no-brainer to me. If you're going to get solar, you should get a backup battery. Yes, part of me wishes we would have gotten a backup battery, but the truth is our solar system is so small. I don't even think it would not be able to fully charge a backup battery, especially like during a power cut. You do need a kind of a bigger system, like a 6 kilowatt system or larger, to be able to really get the full usage out of a backup battery. But you're right, Justin. It is a no-brainer if you're in California and you're experiencing power cuts and you're experiencing, time of use and all of that stuff. It does make sense in California. Hi, Mikey. Thanks for watching. So going back to the peak kilowatt hours, it's 4 to 9 p.m. That's when you're going to be charged the most for the energy, and non-peak is from 9 to 4 p.m. So I was talking a little bit about how during a power cut, if you are solar only, your system shuts down, because if it's during the day and your solar system is energized and it's going back feeding into the grid, it could harm people working on the line. So there's a reason for the power cut. Your inverter shuts down automatically, and then it waits for the re-energization. I hope that's the right way of saying it. It'll wait for signals from the grid that the grid is re-energized. So it knows to kick back on. The inverters know to kick back on, and when it's safe to do so. But during a power cut, when you do have a backup battery, you have power, but you're only going to have power to the essential critical loads in your home, because a battery typically has about 5 kilowatts of power that can go through that battery. So think of your refrigerator, think of some lights, think of some outlets, maybe your TV and internet modem and everything like that. Critical loads. You don't want to be running your air conditioner. You don't want to be running your dishwasher and everything. I mean, you could probably get away, but you'd really need an analysis of your energy loads to make sure that there's enough, like you have a big enough inverter and you have a big enough battery to power those things during a power cut. When you're starting to look at whole home backup solution during a power cut, you'd really need to be looking at 2, 3, 4 batteries, which is costly. But some people don't care and they want that. And if they want that and they tell me that, I help make that happen for them. But your system will still be working during the day, during this, when the sun is out. It's going to power your home, and it's going to charge up your backup battery so that when the sun goes down during a power cut and you have a backup battery with your solar system, it's going to charge up your backup battery so that you can use them during the nighttime. So it is important to know that during a power cut, if you don't have a backup battery, your solar system doesn't work. But understanding how the backup battery does work during a power cut, and you have solar power, you're going to be solar powered during the day for just critical loads, so not whole house. And then simultaneously, your backup battery is going to be charged up so that you can use it from sundown to sunrise the next day. So that's kind of cool about how backup batteries work during a power cut, how you can use backup batteries to shave off that peak kilowatt hour time of use, especially if you're a high energy user, and how everything works when you're solar powered. So I hope that this live was useful and helpful and educational to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to continue to comment on this video, and I will be happy to answer your questions as they come up. So share this out with anybody you might know who's interested in solar for either their home or their business, and I would be happy to do a free solar analysis for your home or business so you can start saving money, start powering your life and business with the free energy from the sun, and Yeah, clean renewable energy. My kids are so proud that we have solar, and it makes me happy that they know, the importance of clean energy, especially coming into your home, because there's no reason why not to. The tax credit is now going to be 22%. If some homeowners that are right on that cusp of, like not having been installed, and so we're going to have to figure out something for them. But the tax credit, the federal tax credit is going down to 22%. And depending on who your CPA is, or your tax accountant, or your tax preparer, there's some grayness in that language, the tax language of when that tax credit, like Cinderella at midnight, she turns back in. I don't even know that story very well. My daughter, she does not, she's not into Disney princesses or anything, but doesn't she go back, like if she at the stroke of midnight, she loses her princessiness or something? It's kind of like that with getting PTO'd and getting your tax credit for this year. For 2021, since we're like a week and a half away from, I cannot believe that this year has gone by so fast, but 2021 goes down to 22%. If you're in New Jersey, you have some incredible state incentives for going solar. So if you're in New Jersey and you're watching, reach out to me. I can help you in New Jersey. And I know Illinois has some in there. I can't quite help you there, but check your state to see if you have any tax credits available at the state level. But for the federal level, it's 22% January 1st going forward. And then you don't want to wait until August of next year to get solar, because depending on how long it takes to get your solar installed and get it energized by the utility company, you might miss out. I don't want you to miss out on the tax credit, because as of today, as far as I know, 2022 is 0% tax credit for homeowners. For business owners, it will remain at 10% beginning in 2022. So 2021 is the year you want to get solar on your roof, business homeowners, so you can get the full 22%. And what that means, it's the total cost of your solar system, including main panel upgrades, including roof work, depending on how it's structured and everything, tree trimming, things like that. Whatever it might be required for you to go solar for your home and for your business, the 22% will cover the total cost of that, so long as you have the tax liability to cover it. So again, I'm not a tax consultant, I'm not a CPA, but I have spoken with enough tax preparers for this, and experienced it ourselves, that it is for the total cost, and you do need tax liability to cover it. So thanks, Justin, for watching, and everyone else. Tony, Anthony, I think that you probably tagged people so they watch this video. Thanks for doing that. Have a great evening. Merry Christmas to everyone. I guess I will be live after Christmas, and we'll talk about more stuff then. If you have questions, or if you things like that you want me to discuss on this show, please comment and I will cover that. So until next Sunday, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend, and a wonderful time with your families during this holiday season, the most unusual holiday season probably ever because of COVID. Please stay safe. Merry Christmas, Justin, to you and your family. Happy holidays, Anthony. Thanks for watching, and stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.